Let's take a live look outside. That heat wave we've been telling you about has officially begun. Temperatures hit 80 degrees in Denver today, making it feel totally like summer out there.
And when the weather's like this, it's no surprise people are eager to get outside, take advantage of the early summer-like weather. We got some people biking along Cherry Creek Trail, although they do it in all weather. But no jackets, no T-shirts, lots of sunshine, shorts on. Thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. It's only going to get warmer from here for the rest of the week. Fort Collins saw its hottest March day on record, period. And Denver will certainly see the heat records fall as well. And
so, Chris Bianchi, here we are. This is just the start. We're trailing on through the weekend like this.
March, July. I'm trying to think of a, nope, that doesn't work. No, I know, I've done better.
We should workshop that.
March, June, March, August, March.
Early summer?
Early summer, yeah, you get the idea. It hit 80 degrees in Denver today, right? That's our average high temperature on June 5th. And our average first 80 plus in Denver is on April 27th. So this is about 6 weeks early for us to be talking about temperatures nicking 80 degrees here in the Mile High City. Eastern Plains, more like the mid 80s today in Burlington, and those temperatures still cooking. It's 80 at all 4 reporting sites in the immediate metro area, including here in the 90s backyard, 80 degrees here in Denver. That is our third earliest 80-degree temperature on record, and only the 16th time in 150 plus years of record keeping that Denver has hit 80 or above in the month of March. So this is very, very, again, I think you get the point at this after all that this is very early for us to be talking about those temperatures this warm. Fort Collins, 83, that is now your warmest March temperature on record. Greeley, your warmest March temperature on record is 86, so you're very close to that. So pretty much everything you're looking at truly in historic terms right now in terms of compared to average. There's that third earliest 80 plus on record. Our average first 80-degree temperature in Denver is April 27th. So it's, again, about 6 weeks early. Fire weather warning until 7 p.m. tonight. Still a little gusty, especially as you get up in the Fort Collins and areas north of kind of Highway 14 on north is where you're seeing the worst of the wind right now as it downslopes off the Cheyenne Ridge. That's why you're seeing that 41-mile-an-hour wind gust in Buckeye. Generally 20 to 30-mile-an-hour winds in Denver right now. These winds will subside tonight, but those temperatures get even warmer tomorrow, and then they get even warmer on Friday, and then they get even warmer on Saturday. I'll show you that 7-day outlook in just a few minutes.
We are learning more today about the 86-year-old grandmother who lost her life in the Morrill fire burning in Nebraska. Rose White died last Thursday trying to evacuate her home in Arthur County, a little over an hour northeast of the Colorado border. One of her neighbors says he grew up just down the road from her, and her passing was more devastating than his own land burning.
He loved Halloween and always made a big deal of it, and she had homemade cookies and rolls, and she'd always take the kids' picture and she'd keep them in an album. And so, yeah, we'll definitely miss Rose. And that's the toughest thing. All this other can be replaced. You know, that hearing about her fatality was probably the toughest news.
The fire is just one of 4 major ones burning in Nebraska. So far, more than 800,000 acres have burned in total. The Morrill fire is currently 16% contained.
Today, JBS workers and concerned community members held a news conference to talk about the ongoing strike. It's the 3rd day of this strike. 3,800 workers walked off the job at one of America's largest meatpacking plants. 9 News Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert joins us live from Greeley now for a 3rd straight day with what workers are sharing with her today. Amanda.
Yeah, the strike continues outside the main entrance of the plant, and the weather change has been interesting. Day 1, I saw people wearing blankets and coats. Now I'm seeing people in hats trying to stay hydrated. The rallying chant, "Yes, we can," echoed across JBS's plant entrance in Greeley. On the 3rd day of the JBS strike, that chant moved.
And it's not right.
UFCW Local 7 union leaders held a news conference outside corporate offices, about 20 minutes from the plant.
It's not an easy job. It's not for everybody.
Employees spoke again about wanting fair wages and about wanting better protective gear.
And I'm constantly asking for them to buy new equipment, and they won't do it.
We want the PPE to be adequate for us as workers and to protect us and let us go home the way we come to work.
A new voice joined their fight.
We're against abusive corporate power.
Mike Calicrate lives out of state.
I ranch out in St. Francis, Kansas.
He traveled to speak out against JBS.
Well, they haven't paid a rancher a living income or what his animals are worth for decades. Those same companies are trying to get workers to work for less in terrible working conditions.
Mike says ranchers in the beef industry are also struggling.
And it's no wonder we've lost half our ranchers.
So he wanted to show a united front.
By raising awareness through this strike.
And we need y'all to do the right thing right now. We're asking for the right thing, and we're gonna fight for it every day if we have to.
The chant continues while JBS stays quiet.
And JBS hasn't gone on camera, but they did respond to that news conference today with an updated email statement. They said that hundreds of workers did show up to Greeley work today, and they were able to operate a normal shift. They also said that people want to vote on their contract offer, a vote they say the union isn't allowing. Reporting live in Greeley, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you.
A family in Johnstown is grieving the loss of a loved one after a crash on I-25 early this month. Colorado State Patrol says a pickup truck and a van hit one another, causing the truck to roll over. And the truck driver died on the scene. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch sat down with the driver's wife, who is pleading for anyone with more information or dash camera video of the crash to come forward.
That crash that happened last week here along I-25 left a woman without her husband and a 2-year-old baby without her father.
For the near 8 years, Catlin and Skylar Fox have been a pair. They've spent every day together.
I think we've maybe only been apart like 2 days.
Now, they're going on day 9.
Skylar was one of a kind person.
March 9th, just before 6 a.m., Skylar was on his way to work driving southbound on I-25.
He was talking to me on his AirPod.
He was 15 minutes away from their home.
Then all of a sudden I heard him say, "Oh my God, Catlin, Catlin." And then a lot of crashing sounds.
Colorado State Patrol says a work van clipped Skylar's truck, causing him to spin out and roll over. Catlin was on the phone the entire time.
And then it just went silent.
She pinged his location and went straight to him. CSP says Skylar died on scene. He was 34.
He was my best friend. We were inseparable, and he was my other half.
She and Skylar had plans to list their house next month to move to Arizona with their daughter. She'll be 2 in May.
Yes, she looks and acts just like him.
Catlin says she intends to make sure people remember Skylar had a heart of gold, a contagious smile, and was the ultimate family man.
I've never seen somebody have so much joy for life than him.
Relatives and friends have surrounded her with love and support as she holds on to memories of her loved one lost.
This world is just very empty without him.
CSP's Vehicular Crimes Unit is asking for witnesses or dash camera footage of those 2 vehicles before they crashed. Fox says she's planning to host a celebration of life this Saturday in Longmont. In Weld County, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
Janelle, thank you. Denver's annual Cesar Chavez March and celebration is expected to be canceled after allegations of sexual abuse against the labor rights icon has surfaced. Chavez was a Mexican-American farm labor leader who raised awareness about the difficulties farmers face. He died in 1993. A New York Times investigative report claims he abused and molested multiple women, including some minors. One of the alleged victims is his United Farm Workers Union co-founder, Dolores Huerta. In a statement today, she said she stayed quiet for decades over fears the allegations would damage the progress she helped build. Chavez's name can be seen throughout Denver. The federal building on Spear Boulevard bears his name, and so does Cesar Chavez Park. Leaders in California, where Chavez worked for years, say they were taken back by the news.
There's shock and there's surprise, and there's a lot of people holding their breath, waiting to see what the allegations are. Anytime that there is this sort of a reckoning, it creates and should some self-awareness about who we are as people, the fallibility of all human beings.
Denver City Council President Amanda Sandoval told us she plans to meet with Mayor Mike Johnson to discuss renaming the park now. We will hear from her coming up at 6 on Next with Kyle Clark.
Westminster police got quite the surprise from a suspect earlier this month. They got a call that 2 people had broken into Moore Middle School, which is permanently closed. Officers say the building is so massive they brought a canine along to help. That canine showed a lot of interest in one classroom, specifically the ceiling.
Be a great time to be honest. I see his legs right there.
Put your hands up! Yeah, 2 people there. 2 people hiding in the ceiling, and they fell right in front of the police. Well, one fell. The second one was able to jump down. He didn't fall through the ceiling, so to speak. Police say they took a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old into custody.
Dog still gets credit.
The dog, leave it to the canine.